Single dad gave up his first-class seat for twin girls, not knowing their mom owns the entire airline. It was supposed to be just another long flight from New York to London. Single dad Luke Harrison, a mechanic from Detroit, cradled his battered backpack as he stared at his first-class boarding pass like it was a golden ticket from the heavens, a surprise upgrade, his first stroke of luck in what felt like years. Luke hadn't flown in ages, not since his wife passed 2 years ago. He was finally taking a short vacation after saving up for months. It wasn't just about rest. It was about proving to himself that he was still allowed to live, to breathe, to smile. He was just settling into the wide, luxurious first-class seat when he noticed them, a pair of twin girls, no older than 7, standing near the aisle with worried eyes and clumsy backpacks nearly toppling them over. Their nanny, flustered and juggling bags, was arguing softly with a flight attendant. "Flight attendant. I'm so sorry, ma'am. The booking error left you with one seat in economy, and the girls can't sit alone back there." Nanny. "But I can't leave them alone in first class either. Their mother will fire me if anything goes wrong." The girls looked tired. One was already clutching a stuffed rabbit like it was her lifeline. The other was rubbing her eyes, trying not to cry. Luke didn't think twice. "Luke, I'll trade eats with them." Everyone looked at him. Nanny. "Sir, that's really not necessary." Luke. "They need it more than I do." And just like that, Luke gave up the plush seat he'd barely warmed and walked back to economy, without regret. The twins were ushered into first class, and the nanny, now near tears herself, mouthed a grateful, "Thank you." Luke didn't do it for recognition. He did it because that's what decent people do. Because he'd once flown alone with his son and knew how hard it could be. Because kindness, to him, was a currency more valuable than comfort. The flight was uneventful, until it landed. As the passengers disembarked, a poised woman in a tailored navy suit stood near the gate. Arms crossed, eyes scanning. Her presence had a gravity to it. "Woman, who's Luke Harrison?" Luke blinked, caught off guard. He stepped forward cautiously. "Luke, that's me." She extended her hand with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes until she saw him properly. Then something shifted. "Woman, I'm Amelia Grant, CEO, Sky Harbor Airlines, and mother to those 2 little girls." Luke froze. "Luke, look, ma'am, Amelia, you gave up your first-class seat for my daughters. You didn't know who they were, and you still chose kindness." He shrugged, suddenly self-conscious. "Luke, it just felt like the right thing to do." She studied him a moment longer, then pulled out her phone, tapped a few times, and handed him a card. "Amelia, you're flying first class for life. Any airline under my company, yours. You ever need help, you call this number. That's my personal assistant." Luke, I can't accept that." "Amelia, you already did, when you taught my daughters and me something important. Not everyone would give up luxury for strangers. But you did." Luke stood there, speechless as Amelia turned to leave, her daughters waving from behind her with sleepy smiles. And in that quiet, humbling moment, Luke didn't feel like just a tired mechanic anymore. He felt seen. He felt like the world still had room for people like him. Later, as he finally settled into his hotel room, his phone buzzed with an email. "Confirmation. Your next flight has been upgraded, first class forever." But more than that, he carried something even better, a reminder that small acts of compassion can echo far beyond what we imagine.